Bob has given those tapes to his son, Bob Motta Jr., who's a criminal defense attorney himself and the host of the Defense Diaries podcast. His newest podcast is called Buried Inside the John Wayne Gacy Investigation. Buried Inside the John Wayne Gacy Investigation. Bob, it's good to have you back on the program. Congratulations on the remastering. Those are clear as a bell. Those tapes are amazing. I could not wait to ask you, though, before anybody else, what your reaction is to this docudrama about John Wayne Gacy.
I thought it was fabulous. I thought Michael Chernus as Gacy was unbelievable. You know, I messaged him right away and just said, look, man, you embodied what he was, and he really did. Out of anybody I've seen play that role, he just absolutely crushed it, and it was haunting. It really was.
Okay, I did not know this, but you watched the docudrama with your dad. So were you guys rating like how accurate it was, not only Gacy's performance, but then also the depiction of your dad?
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael Esprit, who played my father, we thought did a phenomenal role. And it was really kind of a surreal situation to be sitting there with my father watching this all play out. And we really appreciated the fact that they kind of dove into what we felt was the bigger story here, because we've all heard the Gacy kind of biography before. And this really got into a deeper part of the psychology of him. So we thought it was really, really well done.
So that's what I want to talk to you about, is this psychology, because I had no idea that he had this personality that he freely engaged with the cops, you know, displaying like, I'm a good guy, you know, I got to get back to work. How long is this going to take? You know, this interview, you know, and I want to play this one clip from your dad's recordings, the remastered ones, that have him talking to your dad about, you know, marriage and divorce and, you know, things like that. Meanwhile, there's 33 rotting bodies under his floorboard. So let's play that and talk on the other side.
One of the times we talked, John, we had determined that you were married on July 1st, 1972.
Yeah, that's right.
And that
3.5 years later.
February of 1976 is when the divorce proceedings began, so probably...
No, February 76 is when it became final.
So, you know, the thing that I'm so fascinated by is the storytelling of the Gacy crimes as opposed to the gore. I always struggle with gore, and this particular docuseries on Peacock really took me into the moments, what the police were going through, what the victims' families were going through, and what Gacy was like through all of this, as opposed to the murders themselves. And I found it, for lack of a better word, I found it very classy the way the story was told. I wondered if you guys felt the same thing.
We did. And, you know, my podcast, I think, is going to be a beautiful partner to this. I encourage people to watch the Peacock series. And then for the deeper dive, obviously, because they're limited with an 8-episode run in terms of what they can get to. But I thought it was wonderfully done. It was the first thing that I had seen in terms of visual where they actually tried to memorialize the victims in this case. And there were so many of them. I really, really appreciated that side of it, because that was something that we focused on so heavily in our podcast as well as the investigation. I mean, those were the two things that I really wanted to focus on. I wanted to know how the Chicago police couldn't do anything in 6 years that the Des Plaines Police Department was able to do in 10 days. I wanted to know how that happened. Yeah. And I thought that this doc did a beautiful job of laying that out.
Well, you and I aren't finished talking about this because the doc's still, I'm only on part 3, and so don't do the spoiler here. But also, I have a lot of other questions for you just about the shaming of the victims and the dichotomy of how easily Gacy went between his personalities in these interviews. So will you come back?
I'm here for it, Ashleigh. You know that.
Keep your calendar open. Bob Motta, thank you. Say hi to your dad for me, too.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.